Today's video is going to be how to stop falling off track with exercise without quitting and giving up. The biggest thing that I teach my clients is how to actually stick at something for some people for the first time in their lives, and how to stop letting little things that get in the way completely derail you from your fitness routine. So oftentimes what happens is, especially busy mums that I work with, they will have a week where things do not go to plan, because let's be honest, with kids, that is pretty much every week. But yeah, maybe they've just had a really tough week. So maybe kids have been sick, they've been off school, they've had to take time off work, and maybe something in the house happens, something breaks, something goes wrong. And a lot of times mums maybe can't keep up with their regular kind of fitness routine that week for whatever reason, and they miss a few days, they maybe eat in a way that isn't supportive to their goals, and they get to the end of the week and they think, I've totally blown it, this isn't for me, this isn't working, so I'm going to just quit this and start something completely new in a couple of weeks. What happens is this cycle repeats itself so many times, and I do call this the stop-start cycle. They'll start something again, maybe they'll restart that program, maybe they will restart a new plan, and they'll have all these great ambitions and great intentions of sticking with it. And then again, something happens, and for whatever reason, that plan can no longer work in that season of life that they're in, or that week that they're in. So they completely, push it away, they don't do it, and then the guilt and shame starts to build up. They start to feel, bad about themselves. They feel like it's me that's the problem, I can't stick to anything. And leads to things like binging and restricting, to completely avoiding all exercise, or using exercise as a way to punish themselves, which is absolutely not the right way to look at exercise, but that can often happen with this kind of guilt and shame spiral that a lot of women go into, where they make it that, this is an inherent flaw with them, when actually the problem is the program and their life do not fit together. So a couple of tips that I want to just run through that might be things that you've maybe heard before, but you've maybe just not really associated it with motherhood. Or maybe it's things that you've never heard that you think, wow, that's so obvious and so simple, why did I not think of that? So tip number one is the 48-hour rule. So 48 hours, 2 days. The rule for this one I have is that you don't miss out on anything more than 48 hours if possible. So that doesn't necessarily just need to apply to workouts. There may be times where you cannot work out for like a whole week, a whole couple of weeks. Maybe the kids are off sick and you need to tend to them and you don't have any time to yourself and you can't leave them. Or maybe you've injured yourself or something. So for those reasons, excluding them. But if possible, and if it's more of a motivation and a kind of pick yourself back up kind of issue, then yeah, maybe miss a day. Then the next day, you're going to get yourself back up and you're just going to continue off exactly where you were. Now, the biggest part of this, and more important than the 48-hour part, is that you do not use the next day as a way to punish yourself. So you don't say, because I didn't get it done yesterday, I'm going to do it today, and I'm going to add on cardio and make it more intense, or I'm going to make it longer, or I'm going to eat less today, or whatever it is. We do not do that. We don't change anything. We simply just do exactly what we were going to do anyway, but we just do it the next day at all. Because as soon as you start to play about with variables and you try and make things more intense, or you try and restrict or whatever, all that's doing is sending that binge restrict cycle to the brain, and that is where things can get really messy really fast, and we don't want that. My next tip is to decide in advance what you're going to do if your week is disrupted. Now, the key part for this one is the in advance. So you don't wait until something goes wrong or wait till things aren't perfect to then make a decision. You don't wait to that moment to be like, oh God, like, what am I going to do? Like, do I do this thing at home, or and then you start to panic, and then you're probably stressed, your kid's probably shouting on you at this point, and you're just like, oh, it's fine, I'll just leave it, I won't do it today. If you decide in advance, maybe every week, this is something that I say to a lot of my clients, is every week pick a 10-minute workout from the library, just 10 minutes. 10 minutes, because if you have a day where shit hits the fan and you've not got any time, you've not got any energy, you're stressed out, you have other priorities, rightfully so, 10 minutes you could fit in pretty much anywhere. And even if you have to break that down into like 2 5-minutes a day, but 10 minutes is something that I know that you can fit in. So pick that workout, prior to that happening, so that you've got that little kind of tool in the back of your pocket that you can pull out and go, aha, it's fine, I've got this. So it doesn't need to be that. It could be if you're on a more specific program or something, we can absolutely adapt that to be more specific to what your goals are. For you, 10 minutes, you might feel like, no, that's not really in line with my goals right now, Tracy. That's fine. I'm just talking more generally to mums right now. But yeah, pick in advance what your kind of alternative options are going to be so that you don't panic and stress when the moment hits where things don't go to plan. And my third and final tip for this video is to focus on nervous system regulation. And this is something that is overlooked a lot in fitness, and it's more applied to things like mindfulness and stuff. But how stressed out your nervous system is will dictate how well you feel you can show up for yourself. Because if you're completely and utterly stressed out your box and you have no regulation kind of resources that you can rely on, then it's going to be so much easier for you to go, I can't deal with this is too much, and it just gets pushed away, which is your body's way of preserving energy, and it's way of protecting itself from future stress. So you go, do you know what? I hear this a lot. A lot of mums been like, yeah, I really want to sign up to coaching, or I really want to get fit, but it's just not the right time just now. There's just too much going on. And see, if you do that, I almost guarantee you that there will always be something that is in the way of you getting fit. So you have to get to a point where you're like, okay, I need to learn, and it may take time, but I need to learn how to calm my mind and calm my body and look after that so that I can also show up for myself. Because showing up for yourself is going to make you, one, a lot less stressed as a person, especially if you stick to a fitness routine. Fitness is amazing for managing stress levels, but also if you manage that stress and that, overwhelm, you're going to show up as a much better mum, a much better spouse, a much better sister, daughter, friend, whatever it is. It's really in your best interest to take care of yourself. So that might be things like, and this is totally different for everybody. Everybody has their things that work for them and things that don't work for them. So that might be things like meditation, it might be things like somatic breath work, it might be things like yoga. Finding things for you that help manage your emotions and manage your stress levels, and not overlook it as I'll do that another day. No, make that a top core priority in your health program if you look at it as in general, because that has a direct impact on your ability to show up and exercise, your ability to eat well, your ability to sleep well, and all of that impacts your health as well. So it's not just, exercise is not just the thing to focus on. I am so big on holistic health, and I think all of it really does come together. So yeah, trial and error things, see what works for you. If you try meditation and you hate it, don't just assume that that's not for you. Maybe try something slightly different. Get to know what makes you tick and what works for you as a busy mom. And again, not putting these high expectations of, oh my goodness, I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes every day. That's not going to happen. It's not. Make sure whatever you pick is something that you can do even on those hard days, even on those busy days, even when the kids around you are absolutely feral and you're stressed out, you're not. It has to be something that works in those days. If it works in those days, then it'll work any day. That was my 3 little tips for how to stop falling off track and how to do it in a way that involves you not quitting and showing up for yourself, and also not completely stressing yourself out by adding more to your plate as well. So this is exactly what I work with my clients on in my Strong and Steady program, and I have the link in the bio if that is something that you're interested in. I also have a freebie which is called the Stop Starting Over Kit, which is perfect for you if you can relate to this video. So it's free, you can grab it from the link below, and it includes a 20-minute energy boost workout that you can do on busy, tired days. It includes a PDF journaling prompts for you so that you can figure out where you're maybe going wrong and what you can do to fix it. And it also includes a little pep talk audio that you can listen to on those days where you just don't want to do anything and you need a little bit of boost of motivation. So all of that will be in the link below, and thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, send to your friends, and I will see you again soon.